Hi, everybody. Welcome to Busy Living Life. Busy Living Life. Busy Living Life. It's episode 281, 281 episodes, and we are today sponsored by SoberLink. As we all know, addiction is a serious issue that needs to be addressed. Nearly 15 million people in the US have alcohol use disorder. Only 10% of those people can get treatment. SoberLink strives to erase the stigma associated with addiction. Their remote alcohol monitoring tool has helped over 500,000 people to be more accountable in their sobriety. I've teamed up with SoberLink to create a resource guide, tips for keeping busy, living sober for those in recovery. Visit www.soberlink.com and download the resource. And if you or someone you know can benefit from accountability for alcohol recovery, you'll also find a form on that page to sign up for a $50 off promo code. Again, that's www.soberlink.com. Thank you, SoberLink, for sponsoring us. And now we are back to business. Today's topic is comparing our insides to other people's outsides. So what I mean by that is how we're feeling on the inside. We tend to compare to what we see on the outside of someone else. And I am going to use many examples today on how it's a really tricky thing to get involved with. It's a really dangerous place to go in our heads, is to compare our insides to other people's outsides. And social media, which is like one of the biggest places that I think that this brings out in people, is like we look on social media and we think, oh my God, look at those people, they've got such great life, my life sucks. I don't have that. We don't look beautiful, my family, today. In the past 5 minutes, I've just yelled at my entire family. I've told all of them off. They're all a bunch of jerks. I've used profanity. I am not proud of my behavior, and I've done that. But look, I get on Facebook or I get on Instagram and I see these families, they're on these beautiful trips and on these beautiful boats, or they're on planes. And then you look at like the Kardashians and they've got this life that looks like so idyllic. I don't know who thinks it looks idyllic, but the kids want to strive to. I want to be rich. I want to have all this stuff done to my body, and I want to look perfect in these clothes, but it's not real. None of this stuff is real. We can't, even though we try all the time to compare our insides to other people, it's never going to match up. It's never going to be equal. You're never going to have that balance that they have on us. Like when you're thinking about lawyers and they have the scale of, you to make it balanced, it will never be balanced because you really have no idea or clue to what is going on in someone else's life. Now, you might sit here and try to pretend like you do, and you might be convinced yourself that you know what's going on in someone else's house. But until you have lived in someone else's house or walked in someone else's shoes, you have no idea. And that's why it's so dangerous, this social media thing, because social media has become this algorithm that makes us not like everybody else. It tries to tell us, oh, look at this person, they've got all this great stuff. And not only that, but they use these great products. Now, if you use these great products too, you're going to have an outcome that you're going to look like A, B, or C. And it's all junk. It's all bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. I was talking to a good friend of mine this morning, and she said, oh my God, Elizabeth, you always seem like you've got this great life. Like you've got this perfect life, right? She's like, you just seem like you live on this island and you have this great relationship and you're married to this guy that's sober and you've got all these great things and your life is so fabulous. Well, guess what? It's not fabulous. My life is not fabulous. I'm going to tell you that right now. My life is just as hard as everybody else's. I put down a drink 15 and a half years ago, and a lot of times I feel like I'm a brand new newcomer because I'm dealing with life, because I deal with life. And the ironic thing is like, today I changed the name. I don't know if any of you picked up on that, but I started calling it Busy Living Life, because my alcoholism isn't going to define me anymore. It's part of me. Everybody's addicted to something. Now this has become, and I'm showing the phone, I'm showing all those social media apps. We're addicted to that. We're addicted to seeing how many likes we get. We're addicted to see what somebody else is doing. God forbid we miss it. That whole thing, FOMO, that just came out. That fear of missing out. People have this on t-shirts, FMO, FOMO, and you'd be like, what does that mean? Oh, fear of missing out. We're now we're worried about missing out on certain things, and it makes us feel less than, right? It makes us be able to judge ourselves. And I feel like as an alcoholic, because I identify as an alcoholic and I can identify that that makes me crazy. But I have a lot of friends that are not alcoholics that have the same problem. I have a lot of friends that have called me in my past, in my life, that have said, oh my, I'm like, how you doing? "Oh, I'm not so great." I'm like, what's going on? Well, I don't know. I just saw, and you're when and hold, they will 9 out of 10 times tell me they were on social media, they were on Facebook, they saw something, they were either not included or they were having a bad day and they got on there and they saw somebody else that they knew having this, and I'm doing air quotes here, air quotes, that their life was perfect. Everything was perfect. Nobody's got a perfect life. I don't care who you're talking to. I don't care who they are. No one in this planet is having a perfect life. They might have things come easier to them, certain things. Maybe finances aren't their problem, but they've got other problems. Everybody has a problem. Every person on this planet has a problem. I have major problems. I remember when I was sober for 1 year, I got a job. And one of my job was because I had these kids at home. And so anyway, I had to get a job. My job was I was in sales. I sold cars. Sold Range Rovers and Jaguars. And I have to tell you, during this time in my life, I was shopping at Walmart. I had, which I still shop at Walmart. I love to shop at Walmart. And people would walk up, they're like, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I want to deal just like everybody else does." Because you think on the outside I got all this stuff, when in reality, if you look at my checking account, it does not say I have all this stuff. I just have this keen ability to be able to get dressed nicely, and people think because I dress nicely, because it's important to my well-being in my head. A lot of people go running all the time because it makes them feel better. If I put on something, it makes a fabric that I like or a pattern that I like, it makes me feel better. That's really the honest to God truth. And they'd be like, "What are you doing here?" And so I'd be in Walmart and I'd be buying I'd not a lot of money. So I'd be buying a chicken because I could always buy a roasted chicken. That wasn't that much money at that point. And I'd buy roast chicken and I'd buy salad, a bag of salad, and I'd make a salad, and then I'd get some fruit. And then I go to my job selling cars. And so, I'm selling these luxury cars, these Range Rovers and these Jags. And, you assume that everybody that walks in there, is, or people that drive these certain cars have these certain checking accounts. At least I did. I was like, oh, they have that car. They're really loaded. They're really loaded. And the crazy thing was, a lot of the people that came into that dealership I knew because I lived in the area. I'm having a sip of coffee. Hold on. So I knew these people through my kids, through sporting events, through whatever, life. They were my community. And they come in. I remember people coming in and wanting to buy this car. They want to buy this Range Rover or whatever. And they come in and they end up, you have to, where I worked, they had this very strenuous form you had to fill out to get approved to buy a car. It was really, really, it was very thorough, and every I had to be dotted, every T had to be crossed. And this is a long time. This is 15 years ago. I don't know what it's like today. I have no idea, but it was very strenuous. It was a strenuous credit app. And I remember people that I knew I knew they lived in a really nice neighborhood. I knew they lived in a really nice house. I knew they drove really nice cars. But then they fill out the strenuous credit app and they would get denied. Embarrassing, right? They get denied. And I was like, wow. And I didn't judge the person because they didn't have a great, let me tell you, my credit score at that point in my life was like probably, I don't know, 200, whatever the worst thing you can have was. And I was like, "Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Look, they're human too." And you know what the weirdest thing was? I didn't actually judge them thinking, "Oh my god, they're a loser because they didn't pass this credit score." I just felt like, "Wow, who am I?" Like, I have no idea what somebody else has. And I'm sorry that they didn't get approved because I felt bad because I knew they really wanted this car. But it gave me this sense of knowing that what I see on the outside doesn't always equate to what it is on the inside, right? It doesn't add up. It's not this equal thing. It's not equal. It doesn't make me, at the end of the day, feel any better if I'm judging somebody else or if I think that somebody has something to make them better than me. I don't think it does. I don't think anybody is better than anybody else. I think because I'm an alcoholic, does that make me a bad person? No, it has nothing to do with me being bad or good. It has to do with the fact that I can't process alcohol like a normal person. And maybe when I'm in my drinks, I don't do things that are morally acceptable, air quotes again. But at my core, I'm still a nice person. And I think we sit here and we judge all this crap that doesn't even mean anything. It means nothing. What we appear on the outside has nothing to do with what is going on authentically inside of us, inside of our souls, inside of our hearts. I think this going and pinning ourselves against each other and comparing ourselves to other people is not a healthy place to be. I don't think it does anything for our psyches to compare ourselves. I don't think it does. I don't think that it's beneficial really on any level that we sit here and we compare ourselves, especially when we're not feeling good. And I just read something, and I was telling my friend this morning. I just read something on, I don't know if it was on Instagram or Facebook, which I really, as you guys know, I hate having and I don't want to be on anymore. It's like a freaking, And then I'm like, but how are people going to find busy living life or busy living sober? And I'm like, well, maybe they're just going to find it because they're meant to find it. That's maybe I'm just going to have to go to that and stop doing this stuff because I don't want to promote anybody getting on there. But I did see this thing. It said, is anybody having an amazing beginning part of 2022? And I had to tell you, I was really excited about 2022. The past couple of years have been really kind of shitty, right? It's been shitty. For me personally, I've moved a bunch of times. I, I've I've made friends. I've lost friends. My mom passed away. My husband and I are not in a really great place. But I really thought that this was going to be awesome. I'm like, it's 2-2. It's 2022. 2-2. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a year. Well, this year has not turned out to be so good. Nope, it hasn't been so good. But the reality is, am I going to let that define me? No, it hasn't been great, but I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm not drunk, so that's a really good thing. But nothing's perfect by any stretch of imagination. Mm-mm. And I'm just walking and I'm just walking and I'm doing a lot of praying and a lot of meditating and taking a deep breath. I have to do that a lot. I have to take a deep breath a lot and I have to not react a lot. And when I was drinking, I reacted a lot. And the problem with my reaction was I didn't have any stop. I didn't have any ability to process what I just said to you. Like I couldn't process what I just said to you. Like I couldn't process the fact that I'm like, oh no, what I'm seeing on Facebook is real. What I'm seeing when I'm drinking, there was no cognitive um, abilities to really recognize. where I really was in my life and that ability to get quiet. I think when I was drinking, it was so hard to take care of my feelings, right? My feelings were facts. So everything made me go one way or the other. And it was very daunting in a lot of ways because I was always in a state of chaos because I was always like, I've got to put out this fire, I've got to put out that fire. I didn't have any peace. I didn't have any quiet. I didn't have any moments to reflect. I didn't have any moments to really meditate. And I've been doing a lot of um, getting quiet in the morning and praying for God to show me what He wants me to see that day, and trusting in my heart that everything's going to work out the exact way it's supposed to. Um, when I got sober and I went into AA, as all of you know, most of you know, I went to AA because I knew I wanted to do something social and I wanted to meet friends. And there's good things about AA and there's some not great things about AA. There's good things that I like and there's some things I don't like. And I take what I need and I leave the rest. And one of the things I really have liked since the beginning is this acceptance that they talk about in the big book. And the big book is this book called Alcoholics Anonymous. And they have this thing in there, and I think it pertains to every person. I don't think it's just for alcoholics. And I'm going to read it to you because it's going to help me today, and maybe it's going to help you. And it's on page 417 of this book. And it is, I'm going to read you this paragraph. It's on page 417, and this book is it's old. I think it's the I'll tell you what it is. It's the 4th edition. I think there's a 5th edition now. There could be a 6th in the works, but anyway, page 417 in the 4th edition says this: and acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I'm disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. So it means like I'm sitting here and I am not accepting the fact that my husband made some choices that I didn't agree with. And I find that disturbing. So I find that fact of my life unacceptable. It's unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I find that person, place, situation, the person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it's supposed to be at this moment. So that's acceptance. I've got to accept that he made a choice that I'm not happy with. I have to accept that this is the way it's supposed to be at this moment. Right now, I'm supposed to feel uncomfortable. I feel very uncomfortable. I get stressed and it hurts my neck and it hurts my shoulders. And I find that is unacceptable. I don't like it, but I have to realize that that's the way it's supposed to be right now. I'm supposed to be going through this. You know, not every day is roses and happiness. Like some days are hard. Some days are stressful. Some days are, I'm just like, shit, how am I here? Why am I here? At 15 and a half years sobriety, I'm still dealing with this shit. But the reality is, it's my life. It's not ever going to be perfect. Just because I put down a drink, it does not mean it's perfect. But I can tell you this, I can deal with it. I can recognize this. I can recognize that this tool that was brought to me on page 417 is here for me still to this day. And I'm going to read the rest of this to you. So nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. So this isn't a mistake. It's supposed to be happening right now. Until I could accept my alcoholism, I couldn't accept until I could accept the fact that I'm an alcoholic, until I could accept that in my heart, I am. My head thinks differently. I go off on tangents. When I have one drink, I have 47. I'm an alcoholic, so I can accept that. Until I can accept that, so I can accept my alcoholism, I could not stay sober. So I had to accept that. I had to accept that so that's it. I'm done. I'm an alcoholic. If I drink again, I am a pickle. I am never going to become a cucumber again. I am an alcoholic. I could not stay sober until I accept life completely on life's terms. I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world as on what needs to be changed in me and my attitudes. So my attitude has to change. So sometimes on here, I can sound like everything's going great because I'm in acceptance. This is it. What am I going to do? I can't cry in my milk. I can't go stomp my feet. I can't, go get drunk. I can't go around the world and, tell everybody what a jerk, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to do that. I can tell you that I have to accept it as being, this is where I am today. I am just going to accept today that this is where I am. And I'm not going to go and get on Facebook and be like, oh, look, Sally Joe's got this fabulous life and my life sucks. No, I could do that very easily. It's very easy. Go on there. Somebody's house looks perfect. Their drapes are perfect. Their kitchen's perfect. Should see this house. It's all torn apart. There's not even a floor in this house right now. There's no oven, there's no nothing. And I could go and be like, look at that. And it's perfect. And they have this best kitchen and they have this kitchen designer and they got this kitchen at the best place. And God, I had to get my kitchen at Lowe's. Oh my God. Reality is, guess what? Suck it up, buttercup. This is my life today. And I'm going to either accept it that this is the way it's supposed to be today, or I'm going to keep crying over my spilled milk, right? Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. He forgot to mention that I was the chief critic. I was always able to see the flaws in every person, every situation. And I was always glad to point it out because I knew you wanted perfection, just as I did. AA and the acceptance have taught me that there's a bit of good in the worst of us and a bit of bad in the best of us, that we are all children of God and we each have the right to be here. When I complain about me or about you, I am complaining about God's handiwork. I am saying that I know better than God. The reality is I do not know better than God. The reality is I can't judge somebody else. As it just said, the world has a little bit of good and a little bit of bad. We all go through these highs and these lows. And the reality is how do we dance through them, right? How do we dance in the rain? How do we dance when we think that the world is going to come down and it's going to just shit on our day? And how do we get through that? And I tell you this, the answer is not picking up a drink. It's getting honest with somebody. I picked up the phone and I called somebody and I actually told her all about what's going on with me. And she said, it's so good to hear, because she's like, I could hear it in your voice. And I had to trust her. And I don't trust everybody. I don't trust everybody with my feelings. And I don't think we're supposed to, but I do trust some. And I feel grateful for the ones I have. Because if I go outside and I compare somebody's outside to my insides when I'm feeling the way I am, it's just not a great place to go. There's no winning in that. It's actually, on the contrary, it's going to be losing on my end, losing big time. I'm not going to have serenity. I'm not going to have peace. I'm not going to have, I'm not going to be okay. And the reality, when I just read that, is if I accept everything in God's world exactly the way it's supposed to be, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I already know it's going to be okay. It might look different. It might not be what I wanted it to look like, air quotes again. It might not be what I thought the picture in my head, my expectations were for my life to be. It's not. It's not today. My life isn't the way I expected it to be. And it's something that I have to deal with. It's something I have to deal with. But I know this. I know that if we have each other and if we do reach out to people and we do talk to people and we get honest with people, then it makes life a hell of a lot easier. I really need to have those people in my life that I trust. And not everybody's a bad guy. And not everybody's a good guy. And just because they're sober doesn't mean that they're great. I have to say that. It doesn't mean anything. We're all just trying to do our best each day. And, that's one of the main reasons I'm changing it from busy living sober to busy living life, because I have a lot of friends that aren't sober and they listen to my podcast and they find it, they're like, I totally understand what you're saying. Why do you just make it for people that have drinking problems? Why can't it be for us too? Because we all have something. Everybody has something. It could be spending money. It could be food. A lot of people go to food. A lot of people go to exercise. A lot of people have a lot of things that they go to that's their reaching point. For me, it was alcohol for so long. And today it's not that. Today it's just, I think I'm just always trying to seek the truth. I'm always trying to be a truth seeker. I'm trying to find out how I can love my fellow man even more. Coming out here and doing this podcast isn't always easy to get vulnerable. It isn't always easy to tell you guys that, life isn't great. I sometimes I go and I look and I see, oh my gosh, I haven't had any likes. I don't have a ton of endorsement here on Busy Living Life. I pray one day it happens, but it hasn't happened yet. And one day I hope to be, financially stable myself, not with a spouse, just doing it on my own. I really would like that. And I believe it's going to happen someday. I don't know when. I know it's going to happen. Um, but I know I find joy in telling you guys that life is okay because I have you guys in it. And I feel okay to come out here in the universe and tell you guys that I haven't been great the last couple of weeks, but I'm going to get through it. I know I have a higher power and I know it's God. I know God loves me and I know I'm going to be okay because I know I have you guys. Like you guys have written to me a lot lately. A lot of people have been writing to me lately, telling me how much this has meant to them. And I can't tell you how much it means to me when you write to me. I can't tell you. It's like, oh my gosh, I am making a difference. This isn't all about just me getting on here and portraying to you guys my honesty and what's been my life's been like. But you guys can relate to me. And that's amazing because connection is the only thing that matters in this world, is having people that we can connect to and that we can love unconditionally and that we know are there for us, because nobody wants to do this alone, this thing called life alone. No, we want a tribe. We want people that we can have in our posse. We want people that can know that, it's not so great today. Tomorrow's going to be a new day, but I'm going to accept the things the way that they are, which aren't perfect. I'm not going to drink. I'm just going to work on it. I'm going to work on accepting the things that they are and realizing that there are things. And then there's the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God's will, not mine, be done. And that's how I really have to feel today. There's not a lot I can do except for keep showing up, putting one foot in front of the other. And this too shall pass. I know it has, because I've gone through a hell of a lot worse than this. I can tell you, waking up in the morning, not knowing where your car is or what you did the night before is a hell of a lot worse than this. All this material stuff, all it doesn't matter. I know in my heart that I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay. But I'm not going to compare me to you, because it's not going to help me. I can just tell you this. I need you guys. I need this podcast. I need my peeps. I need my friends. And I need God. And I do these, I was going to say this earlier. I do these a lot of podcasts where, I mean, meditations where you envision your life in the future. And one of them was this one that you were like, you were standing in the house of your dreams and like your feet, what do you feel? And I could do that. I'm doing these, envisioning my life, and it's been so amazing. It's dreaming, it's daydreaming. And I feel like I want to envision things. And I hope you envision things too in your life. I hope you take these days that you can dream, because dreaming for things to be different and having like goals to reach for, and this keen ability to take our head to this place where we want it to be, and envisioning these things is such a gift. It's such a gift. Envision your life today as being better than it is, and envision everything that you want that would you, because you know what, it gives you this peace and this serenity, and you just know in your heart it's all okay. It's all okay. It might not have come here yet. It's going to get here. I believe it. I believe it. I envision things. I write things down. There was this secret a long time ago where you put it in the universe and it'll come to you. And I believe in all that. And I want you to believe in that too. believe that this too shall pass. It's not going to be this bad forever, wherever you are. But don't compare what's going on inside of you to what's going on somebody's outside, because you have no freaking idea what's going on. No. And it's never going to be balanced. So why make yourself feel like shit if you don't have to? That's my real thing. Why make yourself feel like shit when you don't have to? Nobody's going through this unscathed, baby. So let's do this together. Let's rock on this together. Let's be like, you know what? I'm going to accept it the way it is. Life is the way it is, but I know that I've got you, and you guys know you got me. So please write to me. You can reach me at busy@busylivingsober.com. You can also reach me at elizabeth@elizabethchance.com. That might be easier. I always say it's easier because it's shorter. Elizabeth is ELIZABETH at elizabethchance.com. You can reach me there. Reach out to me. Know that you are not alone today. You are not alone. You are not alone. We can do this thing life if we're together, and we can get busy living life together. Let's get busy living life, and let's get busy doing something creative, whatever that is for you. Write to a gratitude. I'm doing gratitude lists again. I haven't done those in years, but I'm doing those again. Life is good because you know what? I'm not sitting here wallowing in my pity. I'm not pity. I'm not having a pity party. It's all okay. It's all okay. This too will make me stronger. God doesn't give us more than we can handle. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. So if you're out there struggling or not even struggling, or you're having a great day, reach out to me telling me how great your day is. Reach out to me at elizabeth@elizabethchance.com. And until next time, keep getting busy, living life. Keep getting busy, living life. Okay, take care, everybody. And I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye. Thanks, everybody. Oh, by the way, if you like what you're listening to, subscribe to my channels. I'm supposed to say that, I think. So anyway, subscribe to my channels if you like it. Share it with a friend, and know that you are not alone today. Mwah. Sending big kisses and hug, and love you guys all. And thanks for sending me all the notes, because they really do mean the world to me. I can't tell you how much they mean to me. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye.